Hey traders, John Howell here. I am so excited. Oh man, I am just jumping out of my skin. I'm gonna just give you guys a bit of a market update on what's happening in the markets right now. I need to just I love trading, guys. I love it. Anyway, I'm gonna give you guys a bit of an update on the markets right now, some things to keep an eye out for on the indices. Be looking at the mining sector as well too. Plus, there's also maybe three, but definitely two stocks that I'm really keeping an eye out for because we could be getting ready for some really good moves. So I'll share those two stocks with you. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's get straight into it. Traders, I'm running a sale to my trading course for $7 only. You can get my entire breakthrough trading course, but depends on when you see this. Depends on when you see this video. That sale might be over. So normally $500 that I charge for that, but you can get it for $7. The very first thing in the description, or go to Johns JOHNS flashsale.com. Go over there and get it, guys. Get the help you need. Now, let's have a look at what's going on in the markets right now. I am just jumping out of my skin excited right now, guys, for these markets because there is so much opportunity, okay? There is so much opportunity in these markets. The hard thing about the markets is you saying no. The hard thing that most people don't like is going through, right? So if I go through a whole, this is the S&P 500 up the top here, okay? And the hard thing is going through each one and saying no, 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 okay? That's what professional trading is all about. It's firstly saying, okay, what am I looking for in the setup? And then 90% of the time you're saying no, 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 right? That's where trading is easy because you have patterns and and most of them make money, okay? But in the spaces in between, that's the spaces in between when there's no trades, that's when you're like saying, oh my goodness, I haven't had a trade for if you're trading just the daily charts, right? You're not trading the intraday charts. I haven't had a trade for a whole week or sometimes 2 weeks. Sometimes trading the daily charts, I don't sometimes there's a month without any trades. Now with my intraday trading, sometimes there's a couple of days and then there's trades. When I'm trading the 1 minute charts, 2 minute charts, my Forex type of trading. And if I just bring up this here, so like trades like this one here was taken, when was this? This one here was taken a couple of days ago actually. You can see this is the AUD USD chart. This is a trade that I took here recently and it's really simple, traders. Firstly, if you guys want to know, it's really simple. Firstly, I'm looking for some sort of a trend. So this is trading a 2 minute chart up here, as you can see. This is the Australian dollar. The way that I trade, guys, is I trade every market. I trade the stock market. I also trade options over the stock market. Then I trade futures and Forex. And then also some cryptos every now and then as well too. But my system is really simple, really. Like, even forget the moving averages. Don't even look at the moving averages. I'm looking for trend, higher low, and a higher low. Trend, okay. Then I know the best time to get into a trade is what? After a pullback, right? So you don't get in here. That's the wrong time to get in. Why? Because you get in after a pullback. So when the pullback happens and then you start to get a pickup, right? This is the time you should be looking for a trade. But I knew there was a lot of resistance around here, so there was no trade here. But as we got this, we got a pullback. See this pullback through here? And then we got a beautiful break up with a beautiful strong bar. Enter there, and then I just rode it all the way up. It was just a beautiful trade. Anyway, that's just an example of a trade. But I just walked you through my trading system, guys. Like, it really is that simple. Have a good strong trend. Wait for a nice pullback or a slow sideways movement. Wait for a strong breakout bar. And then the exits, you can do what you want with that. But anyway, trading is actually easy. But as I said before, traders, it's the things in between, right? That's always, trading is easy. You say no is hard. So let's have a look at the S&P here for a minute. Let's go look at the last 3 months here. So the S&P right now today had a bit of an up bar today. Actually, we're still going. We've still got 10 minutes to go while I'm doing this recording. So we've got a bit of an up bar today. But remember, we made a double top and then we rallied down. Now we're getting a little pop to the upside. So this is actually really interesting. If I go to my hourly charts, you can see we're still this last hour here because of the announcement that came out, and now we're actually holding here strong. So it's going to be really interesting, traders, to see where do we land here. But we are definitely coming back down, and we're holding this level through here. So if I draw a bit of a trend line, like say through there. Yeah, that'll be that through there. So again, traders, what I'm looking for is a clear break above 4,600. If we can get that, then I believe we're going to be off to the races to an all-time new high, and then I see a 6,000 target coming this year. I see a 6,000 target coming this year, regardless of what the market does here anyway. So that's my overall targets, right? But we had a move up, then we had a pullback, and you can see here to the 50% level. Of this is that line there, and actually let me see, can I make that thicker? Oh no, I don't want that too thick. That'll do right there. So yeah, you can see the 50% level is holding strong there. So that's actually really interesting. Do we actually get a bit of a down day tomorrow, and we actually then follow through and make a new low? And then flush it out and then make a move up? That's going to be really interesting to see what happens through there. So let's have a look at the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq has actually there's actually a bit of a strong trend line coming up through the Nasdaq, or a bit of a trend line coming down through here on the Nasdaq, as you can see. Let me bring up the last, say, 6 months worth of data. As you can see here, we are getting a bit of a pullback. So the line in the sand for the Nasdaq would be this line here. So what that line represents is this, okay? We've got a strong move down, and this whole thing here now is a pullback. So that's actually quite dangerous. We really need to see for the bulls to come into this particular market, which is the Nasdaq, you can see how we've had a lot of strong support and resistance over here, right? So support over here, and now it's becoming resistance. We really need to see a strong bar breaking up out of this level through here above 14,400 on the Nasdaq for the bulls to gain control. Okay, if they don't, and we get a strong bar breaking down out of this sort of triangle pattern through here, then we're probably going to test these lows down the bottom here again, which is down through there. If I open my charts a bit more, you can see there's actually a bit of a support level down there as well too. So and that's actually a bit of a confluence. There's a lot of support level down through there as well too. So we're probably going to get that through there. So if I go to my zoom in on my 3 month worth of data, okay, there's 3 months now. You can see that through there. If I bring up my 6 months once again, let me just bring up through there, right? You can see where we're at right now. So this is a really interesting point to see on the Nasdaq once again, traders. And once again, that line represents. So for the bulls to really gain control and for us to make a move up to new highs, we want to see this thing break above this 14,400 level, and ideally strong. And if we do get that, okay, so it's because we're in a triangle pattern, we never know exactly where it's going to break, but this is probably what's going to happen here. If we do get a break to the upside and we start to get a move up through here like that, and we get some sort of strong breakout like that, then that there is going to give us what? Firstly, it's going to give us a low and a higher low, okay? And then now we're breaking up through there. That's telling us the buyers are coming back in after this market has gotten thumped through here. So if we got that, that's probably going to tell us, okay, now we're probably going to start to do something like, let me just share this with you here. Okay, so let me just go to a blue. We're probably going to do something like this. We're probably going to rally up, have a bit of a pullback, rally up, and then make a new high. All right? Something like that. We're going to get a pullback, so on and so forth. Nothing goes straight up. But if we got something like this here, it's probably going to give us a bit of a green light that an all-time new high is coming in the Nasdaq. Now, on the flip side, if we did get a hold here and then a break to the downside, right? So let me just open this chart up a bit more. Let's go to the 3 month view here for a minute. And then I want to just make sure that that's right on. Let me just put that properly there, and then let me put this through here. Okay. So what I'm looking for here on the Nasdaq is this. Okay, you can see how I'm just trying to Yeah, it's probably somewhere through there, maybe even a little bit higher than that, but you can definitely see, look at this here, right? So we had this starter point here, we had a bounce there. Look where it actually bounced right there. So we know this line through here is definitely strong in the markets. So once again, traders, if we do get a bit of a break to the downside through here, if we hold and we start to get a bit of a break below a break out on the downside, then we're probably going to run down to the 13,000 level and maybe even flush that a little bit as well too, because what the market loves to do is it loves to actually flush levels of, if the market does that, it loves to flush levels because there's a lot of stops and so on and so forth down the bottom through here. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we did drop to the downside. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that actually going through to the 13,000 level there. Looking at the Dow Jones, let's have a look at the Dow Jones here for just a moment. So let's have a look at the 3 month worth of data. Firstly, I can see there's a bit of a trend line coming down through here. We have actually had, it's the same sort of situation, right? We had a very strong move up and we had a pullback through here. If I use my Fibonacci tool once again, from the low to the high, you can see how, look at that, 50%. So 50% is actually quite a strong level, guys. When we're actually looking at the markets, we had a move up and a pullback. If the 50% hold once again, and then we start to move up, especially on the Dow Jones, we're probably likely to see a really, really, really strong move. The reason why is because the Dow Jones really hasn't been doing anything for the last, like, what is that? That's over 1 year? Yeah, close to 1 year worth of doing nothing really on average. So that tells me if we can start to really break up and out, the Dow Jones is probably going to see, we're probably going to see a 40,000+ Dow Jones coming. But on the short term, you can see that once again, this here is not a trend line, guys. It's just the Fibonacci level. But you can see here on the trend line, right, that we actually had a move up, and now we're actually getting a breakdown, and now we had a hold level through there. So once again, it's going to be really interesting to see what's going on there. We are definitely there is definitely a lot of support and sort of a lot of support, and sort of there's a support level through here, there's a support level here. We know that level there is a Fibonacci level. So let me just take this off the screen here for a minute. If I draw a trend line to see, okay, it's probably going to be something like that on the like looking at the triangle patterns. And as you can see, traders, all I do is I'm just looking for the major high points, right? So I'm just looking, I always like to use the major high points. So if I use that point there, and this is the major high point there, then this is the low, this is that last significant low where we are right now that's relevant to the markets right now. So I'm just going to draw my trend lines right through there, and then that's where we are right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the Dow Jones. Maybe we're going to fill in this point through here. Now, what would be very powerful is if we did fill in, if we did start to fill in this point through here, and then we got something like that, a bit of a breakout, that would be very, very, very strong. Because if we did do that, we'd be breaking above the high. We would also have a higher low, and that would be really, really, really powerful for the Dow Jones to make a really strong move. So it's going to be really interesting to see what actually goes on there with the DJ, right? Let's go have a look at the Russell. And the Russell is in a very, very, very interesting point right now. And firstly, the Russell's just in a very strong downward trend, okay? So in fact, so we can see we're actually in a very strong downward trend. This is the downward trend that the Russell's in right now, as you can see. From this point through here, we've got this point through there, and now we're getting a pullback, okay, trader? So whenever we're looking at the markets, ask yourself, when I'm looking at these markets here, okay, so I can see we actually had a very strong move down, and now we're just getting a pullback, right? Because this is a move down, this overall is a pullback. This is a move down, this overall is a pullback. So the trend hasn't changed yet. It doesn't mean, and probably some people are saying right now, oh, John, that's a bear flag. And the interesting thing about bear flags is it doesn't mean it's going to definitely break to the downside. Because sometimes you're going to get a bear flag and it does something like that. What does that mean now? So if we got something like that on the Russell, now the bear flag is actually breaking to the upside. I know this sounds really weird, but sometimes the bear flags, they don't give us a break to the downside. They give us something like this. And if that happened, that would actually be bullish for the markets. It would be really, really, really bullish, especially now looking at these markets. We've had this significant support and resistance of all through here. this bearish flag is not always. So that's why you never preempt, okay? Never, ever, ever, ever preempt in the markets. So the first thing I'm looking at for what we're looking at right now on the Russell is the first thing is that we are in a bit of a downward trend, okay? We definitely have a lot of support level through here around the 210 level. This is using the IWM. And you can see where we're at right now. We are getting a bit of a pullback. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here, traders. So let me just zoom in on my 3-month chart, and you can see what's happening here. So we bit of a down move, and now we're getting a bit of a pullback, and now we're at this level here once again through here, and we're getting a slow pullback. What happens here? Again, if you can use this bit of a triangle pattern, but remember this level through here, that's that long-term level of support. Okay, so this long-term level of support is definitely holding it now. So it's really interesting. Something's building up in the markets. Okay, something is building up in the markets where we're going to get a break either way. That'll give us a bit of a confirmation of what's going to happen. Because remember, as I said to you before, that if we get a hold here and somehow we get a bit of a break to the upside like that, what does that actually mean? Well, firstly, this actually whole level through here, remember this whole level through here, which has actually been a resistance level, is that major long-term level, which has been a strong level of resistance for quite some time. If that happens and we start to get a breaking above, remember that's that trend line coming down through there, we're probably likely to see maybe a bit of a pullback, bit of rest, and then we're going to start to see a bit of a move to the upside, and then Russell's probably going to go bananas with the overall markets. No, markets just closed. Ding, 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 ding. So we can see that again. That's what's going on through there with the overall Russell through there, guys. So, but once again, if we do start to break to the downside here, and that's that. Let me bring on the last 3 months once again. That's that last 3 months worth of data. So if let me just use that point through there once again. If we do get a bit of a breakdown, if we get a strong bar breaking down like that, like something like that, then we're probably going to come back down and test these lows down through here around the 100 and maybe even get down to the 190 level, 185 level through there, and that may be a continuation of even maybe more of a move on the downside. But we're at a really, really, really interesting point right now, traders, especially on the Russell. If we do get a breakdown, that also could mean this is going to be continuation, maybe down to even 170, because that's that next major resistance level around the 170 level there. So really, really, really interesting points, guys, on this. But just remember that just because we have a bear flag, which we do, as you can see, we have a move down, and now we're getting this sort of bear flag through here, doesn't mean it's going to be bearish. We have to wait for the breakout first and then tell us. Because remember, a lot of people go, oh my goodness, it's the bear flag, we're going to jump in. No. See that mouse? Throw it out the window, throw it in the pool, and flush the pool. Right? No. Remember I said before at the start of the video, the hardest trading is easy, but saying no is hard. That's right. It's like, oh, I want to get in early before everyone else does. No, that's your ego speaking. Throw your ego out the window. No. All right. Up, like that. Okay. Now we've got something. Okay. Now we have something. Okay. So just make sure you keep an eye for that. Okay. Just remember, take it and throw it out the window. So let's go have a look at to gold. We're gonna have a look at gold on an absolute short-term basis, real short-term level. We know if you've been watching me for the last few months, if not, we're actually in this very big sort of long-term sort of channel through here, or this sort of triangle pattern that we've been in for quite some time, and now we're starting to slowly break out of it. I do expect to see quite big moves out of gold, but on an absolute short-term level, we definitely did have a lot of resistance. Let's actually use the pitchfork, guys. Oh, what a beauty. That's the secret sauce right there. No, it's not, guys. And as you can see, look, traders, do you see what I'm doing here? I'm giving you all this information from what? From the chart itself, okay? So we can have, what do we have through here? We have a strong level we actually had a bit of a short-term double top through here, and then we had a bit of a backing pattern, we pulled back. Now we rallied back up. Look what's happening through here now. We're actually getting a lot of, bit of a strong move up. We got a big strong move up, and now we've got a move down, and now we're holding this level. So that's actually quite interesting. We are at a bit of a short-term resistance level up here as well too. So once that breaks, once we break to the upside, then let me just go to the hourly chart for just a minute. No, nothing there. So that's actually what's going on through there on, I'd have to say on gold. Again, on the short-term basis, we definitely were in a bit of a, we're in a bit of a channel through there. It's maybe a bit of a short-term channel, but you don't want too many lines on the screen. So that would be the level through there, and I'd just probably take that off level through there. So that'll be what I'm looking at there on a short-term level basis there. Let's go have a look at silver. And silver is just one of those things that just been, you're not really getting any sign at all. You know, we have maybe something going on through here, right? So maybe if we had, if I zoomed out a little bit more, maybe we have something going on through there. You can see silver is actually a bit of a, yeah, there's actually really, you can see on my voice, right? There's nothing really going on with silver. Silver's just sideways. It's not giving us any strong patterns like the other markets. So you know what, traders? Whenever you see a market, just like I just shared with you with silver, and you're not sure what's going on, you can't really read it, next. Let's move over to the mining sector. Same with the mining sector. Very, 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 very volatile. Up and down, up and down, up and down. So I have a long-term position in the gold mining stocks, but that's more like, I've actually had that for 12 months now. And so I think I'm pretty sure my position is down on that one there, but I'm really, really, really confident by the time 2025 comes around, that's going to be really, 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 really nice. So especially with the inflation this decade, guys, everything's probably going to, as the market starts to go through its massive move up, I believe we're going to start to see metals and miners go through the rise as well too. This is the overall picture, guys, not day by day. Okay, we're probably going to see a big pullback again when we do see a big crash in the stock market. We're probably going to get a crash in metals and miners as well too. But then on the other side of that, the big winners are going to be commodities. Inflation is here to stay, guys, for this decade. It started, guess what? So it's going to be a decade of inflation. So on the back of the decade of inflation, guess what are the things that's going to do really well? Commodities, gold mining stocks, and also gold and silver. So that's that big picture, right, guys? What I just shared with you right there is like what's likely to happen from now through the end of the decade, right? Not like tomorrow. So that's what I'm looking through there. Let's go look at the two stocks that I'm looking at right now, guys. That I promised you. The first one is good old Tesla. Actually, let me share with you why I'm looking at Tesla. So, firstly, you can see that Tesla has actually been having a lot of sort of resistance around that 950 level there. Okay, so let me just take that off the screen now. That's the one thing I did notice here. But the big thing I noticed is that look at this long-term trend line. Look at this. Look at this here. Isn't this now? This is what I call a sexy beast. Okay, look at this here. So back since the start of since the whole vid crash. Look at this long-term line, just bouncing. And if I want to use it more correctly, you can look at all the bounces through here. Like, wow, something big is coming in the markets. But here's the interesting part, okay, traders. Remember, it's all about not just a trend line, but what the market's doing. And you can see my two arrows. I've already done my homework, so to speak. We had a low point through here, okay? The market rallied up. We've come back down. And now we're possibly getting a higher low. We haven't got that yet. So if we start to get a bit of a break above here, we're getting a higher low, there's actually a really good probability we're going to see another move back up with Tesla. And we may even see, a move back up towards the 1,200 level. Because if that happens, once again, traders just looking at this level through here, we can see that. We can definitely see, look at that level through there, right? That was that major resistance back here at the start of last year, support, and then we have a lot of confluence all through there as well too. So a lot of support level through here, but we have a low and a higher low. Remember, in an upward trend, traders, higher low, breaking past previous highs. The higher low is an uptrend, right? Right now, there really isn't any trend, but if we get a low and a higher low, and then breaking up like that, there's a high probability we're now likely to continue, especially if we got something like that. something like that. And then we started getting a bit of a volume spike as well too. This showed the buyers are coming back in. There's a high probability we're now likely to continue and start to make a very nice move up. No guarantees, traders, okay? So if you do anything based on what I said in this video, then it's all based on probability, okay? There is still some certainty. I don't care how much of a white paper or a YouTube video or even what I just said, just said there, okay? So don't be YOLOing, be smart, okay? Protect yourself. Step 1, protect yourself. Step 2, trade good trading patterns. Next off the rank, or the second stock that I said at the start of the video, is Microsoft. And guess what? It's doing something really similar. Look at this here. So the last 1 year, look at this last 1 year worth of data. Oh my goodness. Okay, what do we have here? We have a low, we have bouncing. Look at this here. So that was the bounce through there. We come back down to this level through here. Look what happened, came all the way down. Now I'm going to zoom in on this recent data. Here we go here, right? So we have a move down and we had a move up, and now we're getting a bit of a pullback. And once again, if I use my Fibonacci tool to show what's happening, look what's happening here. We're actually getting a lot of support around the 50, especially the 50 to 60% level there, and we're holding. But remember, this long-term trend line, that's that long-term trend line that's been there for over 1 year now, and we're just holding really nicely through here. So that tells me, especially where we are right now, we don't know yet, but that tells me that once again, just like Tesla, if we can start to get a breaking above this high through here, then the buyers are coming back in again, okay? We definitely got thumped. We come back down. If we get a low, because remember, traders, once again, what I said before, it's a higher low and then breaking past previous highs. This is telling us, okay, the buyers are in control. If we did get something like that, we're probably going to race back up to the $345 level. So traders, when I first started trading, I lost $250,000 trading the markets. And then I got access to a few 7-figure mentors that really set me straight on what I need to do with the foundations, how to read the charts, the trading systems, the mindset, so on and so forth. And then that was the massive turning point for me to be doing really well from actual trading and being successful trading. So what I've done is I've created a course called the Breakthrough course. And what I've done is I've actually put a whole bunch of really good education and strategies and processes that help me go from $250,000 in debt to then actually becoming a full-time trader, making a full-time income from trading. And I'm actually running a flash sale to that trading course. So if you go to johnsflashsale.com, or there should be a link in the description. If there's not, then go to johnsflashsale.com. That's JOHNS flashsale.com. Go to johnsflashsale.com and you'll be able to get access to this course now for $7. So go get access to that right now, guys, and I'll see you real soon.